Well, first, welcome to the show. I heard that you have a great interest in software, and you work for, you do some software for IEEE UCF. Um, how did you start getting into that?
So let's see here. Well, I really like software, like you said. I kind of like the software, hardware, everything involved with it. But the software that I was pretty much involved with IEEE UCF was like AutoCAD and Eagle and a lot of like CAD-based stuff, like computer-aided design stuff, which is like I got into that because I use it. I use it a lot. Like I 3D model with Inventor, Autodesk Inventor to like do like 3D print stuff on my 3D printer. I use Eagle to make circuit boards. I actually had it on my other monitor before we started. But and AutoCAD, we don't use AutoCAD, but I know how to use it. But yeah, no, it's a really useful tool if you're like practically doing stuff like in engineering. So that's how I got into them. Actually got certified in some of them, like Autodesk, and AutoCAD, and Inventor. I got certified in those in high school, but I've been using them ever since, pretty much.
So, what projects have you done with these softwares?
Well, the AutoCAD software, other than the IEEE videos that are on YouTube, go check them out. Those are other than that, I worked at a hardware store during my senior year of high school, and through that summer, because I for that summer after that term or whatever it was, 9 weeks or whatever they have it for the classes and everything. After so from that, so I'm losing my words. My bad. After that senior semester or that period at high school through that summer before I started classes at UCF, I worked at this hardware store, Ace Hardware, local to me, and I used AutoCAD to actually make like a floor plan for them because they didn't actually have like a fire escape plan. So they were like, "Hey, we know that you like use this software, so can you like low key like not have us hire someone professional? Can you just do it?" And I was like, "Okay." So I just like got one of those like little things, those like sticks with the like little wheel on them, so you can like kind of like walk them like a dog, and it just like records how many feet and inches you're like getting. And I like measured the whole store, and I got that up, and it's like 95% accurate probably if I was to guess. So that was cool. That was definitely a fun little project distracting me from talking to customers, but that's not the point. I made something for them. That's the overall thing. Not that I was slacking on customers. Yeah.
Oh, of course, but you never want to forget about the extra benefits.
Yeah, of course. No, it was really cool though to like actually like design it and be like, "Oh wow, I'm in this building every day. Now like let's turn it into a 2D floor plan." It was pretty cool, I guess. Yeah. Yeah.
Has there been like any recent projects where like you failed and didn't, you weren't able to do it, or do you find any sort of solution to your problem?
Let's see. So, oh, yeah. So, so I'm actually doing right now a um, circuit board on Eagle for a different software that I'm using for making circuit boards, and I was trying to export that to something called Autodesk Fusion. By the way, most of the softwares I use are Autodesk based because they're fairly similar in the way that they're structured. But I was trying to export 3D models onto it, so whenever I would like make the circuit board, I guess, it would like render everything with all the 3D models, all the parts on the board. And that took me a long time to figure out because documentation was a bit few and far between on that one. But yeah, no, sometimes there are little like details you have to look up. It's kind of the process of using the software to begin with.
Also, just a quick break in all this. Like out of test run, will we have links in the description below kind of deal? Because you mentioned something that was a promotion a little bit earlier. Can we say like, oh yeah, check that out?
Yeah, I mean, this will be
Yeah,
recorded on like YouTube, right? So we'll
Yeah.
do.
Okay.
and I mean Jordan could we could also edit in like links into the middle of the video as well, like little tags or whatever. Yeah.
Yeah.
I actually just saw a second ago that I forgot you can do Windows button G and you can record your screen. So I'm gonna try recording everything. I'm gonna see what it looks like if I just do gallery view and put everybody in gallery view
Yeah.
and then just record it like that. I'll see if that works because if it does, that means we don't even need the professor or the speaker to record anything.
Just
So
need
I'll do one of that, just see what it looks like.
game bar recording.
Game bar recording.
Yes.
So like zoom in.
Yeah. Yeah. So okay. So back to the cut the video here. Back at it. So yeah, those are some like projects and kind of things I've had to overcome with those softwares. But once you can kind of get past that, they're super powerful. You can use them for a lot of good things, especially like the 3D modeling. Like I've modeled multiple things for myself that I've, needed around the house or just whatever. All really good skills to have. So yeah.
Oh yeah, I think that's actually a great segue into, what was your favorite personal project that you worked on?
Oh, with those,
Well, I mean, it could be with those or with anything.
favorite personal project that I've worked on. I would probably have to say the ever long electric skateboard project that I'm working on right now. I've been doing this project, and I say this reluctantly, since freshman year of college because I focus on my classes quite a bit. I put they're up in my priority, like everything else is important too, but like that's why we're here. That's why we're going to college. But it's so hard to like actually work on that, especially when classes have gotten worse, because it was like, oh, I had all this time, like, first semester and second semester, and then um I wasn't in that summer like I said before. So then the third semester hits, and that's, when we first start like getting past like Excel and all these other programs at UCF, and then I just got hit with so much work, and it was just like it's so hard to balance it because you've got to like study and everything and keep your studies right. But beyond the balancing aspect of that, it's probably my favorite project to date because I've really kind of included a lot of stuff into it, a lot of like new things that I didn't know. So I'm learning a lot from it, but it's all practical stuff that, it'll make a really nice little product when I'm done with it. And hopefully very soon I should be able to be writing it. I've gotten a lot of headway on it recently, so probably that one there.
And
That's
just let
exciting.
our viewers know, like, how long has it been? Like, what grade are you in now? Senior, junior?
Oh yeah, no, that should probably put an end to the timestamp of the project. Yeah, I'm a junior. It's crazy to think of it that way already. I'm a
Mhm.
junior in college right now as a computer engineering major with math minor. That's me. A little bit late on the introduction, but yeah, no, that's me.
It's all good.
Yeah, it's all casual,
It's all casual.
Yeah.
Do you feel that your degree has helped you with this project, and what brought you to the degree in the first place as well? I mean,
Well, I feel like actually hold on. Whew, had to yawn there. Yeah, no. So I feel like my degree has helped me understand this stuff better. Like for my computer science class, and computer science one mostly kind of gave me the open door. I was so fortunate to get Sean Zumlansky. We really hope he's going to be in one of these other ones soon, other podcasts. But yeah, I was fortunate to have him, and that made me kind of like structure my code for the project better because I didn't just buy a bunch of stuff online. I'm actually like coding it and making my own circuits and stuff. But other than that, I'm learning a bunch of stuff. I've learned a bunch of stuff so far that's kind of helping me to like read different technical documents and stuff. Like, um, and it's really eye opening in a lot of ways. But to answer your question and your follow up question to that of why I got into this major is because I like doing I like all this stuff. I like using computers, I like coding, I like also building like mechanical things and stuff, like robots, whatnot, or whatever mechanical stuff. And I figured that computer engineering was like a good wrapper to like electrical computer, or I guess like computer science, electrical engineering, and anything else I wanted to throw in there, I guess, like mechanical stuff. But um, yeah, no, I've had a blast with my classes so far. Even though they've been stressful, they've been super interesting. It's good so far.
So, at what point in your life do you know this is what I want to do? Because most people tend to stray away from engineering. It's hard, it's
Yeah.
difficult, but like, it's rewarding.
Yeah, absolutely. I would say, and I know that a lot of my friends can attest to this. I'm a special case of sorts because I know a lot of people, like, they're like, oh, I want to do engineering so I can do things and, actually apply things. And then they get into it and like, they're like, ah, shoot, I don't know if I want to do this. I've always known that I've wanted to like do this kind of stuff because I've been doing this stuff like since, wow, I can't even remember, like probably like early, not early, like early high school, maybe even like the summer before that. Like I've always like kind of tinkered around with like electronics and stuff. Like it never really scared me. Like my dad used to always bring home, he works at a high school, so he would always used to bring home like broken printers and stuff like that, and I would just take them apart, and it was just, interesting, I guess, to kind of like see the inner workings of a computer and stuff. And I was just like, I can do that, I guess. So I did. I just kept like asking a lot of questions and finding answers, and I kept going in that direction. And I just thought it was so interesting, and I still do. It's just these classes are pretty difficult.
Oh yeah, but
Yeah,
it sounds like you're where you need to be.
yeah, absolutely. I'm definitely where I need to be for sure, especially at UCF. Like I initially applied it to UF, but being hyper about it, it was the first place I applied to. So I didn't, obviously you're a high school student and you're applying for a college, you don't know what you're doing. So I forgot to upload my resume more or less. And just a mild mistake. And my brother learned from that and he got in. I didn't, but I'm so glad I didn't actually. At first I was kind of bummed out because I was like, I want to go to UF. They're like, they're the big cheese of like Florida. But
Mhm.
then you know what? Like UCF was made as like a partnership type thing with NASA and Cape Canaveral and everything. So like it's engineering as its foundation. So I'm so happy to be in that kind of college, in that environment. Like we've got the TI lab on campus and a lot of other resources, and I feel at home at UCF. It's the right place for me for my major and my interests for sure.
Very cool.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, absolutely. UCF has such a homey feeling to it.
Yeah.
Is there anything about it that you dislike it the most?
Um, I haven't gone to too many of the other universities since I've started at UCF. Like I've done like a couple hackathons and stuff, and I went to like UF for one of them, Swamp Packs 2020 or 2019 or whenever it was. But so I can't really like objectively say why it's better than others, but the
Mhm.
things I do like about it are, I don't know, like I just feel like there's like a very big connection to everybody as a whole. Like we're all just there. There's a lot of positive vibes. We've got like our mascot, and we've got a lot of. I mean, all of the other universities have mascots and everything, but we've. I don't know. I just get really positive vibes from UCF. Like we're all trying to be like one big collective sum of nerds trying to do cool stuff, and I don't know. It just feels homey to me. That's it's just it feels like a place that's comfortable, I guess.
No, I feel you.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
But do you have any sort of advice for the younger people that might be watching this about hackathons, what to do? Because I know when we were all freshmen, we had no idea. We were all lost. And
Yeah.
so, any sort of piece of advice you wish someone told you?
Yeah. So the thing I want to give on the advice I want to give from my end, outside of the university is, I would say, just ask questions. Any engineering is based on asking questions and solving problems. So you can't really like go forward if you're not asking questions to solve, if that makes sense. You literally just have to you just have to want something and then ask how you could do it, and then just look into it. And I mean, that's a fundamental thing of research. So you just go into research of some kind, maybe not like go, for a lab or anything. Obviously that would be good for you, but you just have to ask a lot of questions and try to attend a lot of workshops, and just you're going to a university from like high school and you just have all these resources and everything. So you need to just try to like soak it up like a sponge, and just once you've got it, you could just like try to apply it and maybe join clubs and stuff like that. Like, the IEEE hardware team, where we do a robot for like a regional part of the US in this like workshop for Southeast Con, basically a big hackathon. But yeah, so I guess I would say just ask a lot of questions, but on the university side of things, just join clubs, and don't be afraid, because people are in those clubs to help you. And I've really understood that a lot more being the software director. And I've gotten that title fairly recently, but everybody in IEEE, or most of them, know that I've been doing some workshop for like the longest time, for the people who've been in here for a while, since like fall 2018. But yeah, you just have to kind of go at it and assume you know what you're doing, and then you have the like actual info to back that up, and just kind of, I mean, no one's going to stop you. We have resources like workshops for that, for people who aren't sure of what this or that is. So yeah, just be curious, and just kind of like, if you think it's cool, just go to it. If you don't, go to it anyway and just see what it's about. Just, yeah, easier said than done with classes, but
Yeah.
do your best.
But yeah, there's also a lot of things, because UCF is so large and so diverse, those curiosities really can flourish. And
Mm-hmm.
on that note, are there any things that you particularly enjoy outside of engineering?
Yeah. Um, just like my personal interest, you mean, or like stuff on
Yeah,
campus, or? I
anything
mean,
you enjoy.
yeah. I mean, outside of all the engineering and stuff, because I mean, engineering goes, obviously, if you're able to be sane, goes hand in hand with some kind of like mental stress reliever, because there's a lot of stuff for engineering. It can be stressful for sure. So you have to like balance that with your own interests. And some of mine are like, I've gone to like Lake Claire, and I've done the kayaking and paddleboarding and stuff over there, and just walking around in the arboretum and stuff. I really vibe quite a bit with like nature and everything. So I like going to get like some fresh air and see all them plants. No. Yeah, so just get some fresh air and just go like explore a bit, and just kind of get away from all the super technical stuff and all that. Yeah, so yeah, just stuff like that. Right, I'll like active stuff, tennis if I ever have the time, biking, running maybe, or stuff like that. Yeah.
Sounds awesome. All right, so at this time, we're going to take a quick break for, I don't know, our sponsor.
Thank you, TI, for sponsoring us.
I said, TI, thanks, man. Again, do it again. Yeah, so what else did you guys, what other questions did you want to ask? Or what other stuff were you curious about inviting me onto your podcast?
What has been the hardest moment for you in UCF? I know personally, when I first started UCF as a freshman, had no idea what engineering was. I thought it was like one major, instead of being this whole broad topic.
Yeah.
But I was wrong. I was like, should be civil, industrial, computer, electrical. And I was just so lost. So I honestly just picked out of a hat, electrical. That seemed cool. And then I was like on Calc 1. I was like, oh man, what am I doing?
Yeah.
But after that, just, it was a big slope going up, but it just became constant. I would say physics 1 for me personally was the hardest thing to do.
Oh man,
Surprisingly,
physics 1.
Oh, yeah.
Oh
Yeah.
man, what professor did you guys have?
Oh man.
I actually didn't show up here until physics 2. I went to community college.
Oh wow,
Okay.
yeah.
Yeah.
What was
But
your
physics 2
professor,
is
Fernando?
hardest.
Yeah, physics
I
2.
Physics one was I just blocked out.
Oh my
It's
gosh,
blocked
yeah.
off, man.
I tried my best, but the physics professors on campus, like I say this lightly because we may have some in our future, but I to be, I guess, to say it lightly, I feel like there's room for improvement without, without poking anybody with a knife here. But yeah, no, they could be like, oh, yeah,
No, definitely.
like I had for my first one, and then for my second physics class. Oh, oh, oh gosh. Oh,
So would
this
you say physics would be your hardest class then? Or
Oh man, that's so hard to pick from. But sorry, go ahead. I cut you off for a second.
oh no, that was the question.
Yeah, yeah. Okay, well, oh man. Uh, I've done all like the math stuff involved, like calculus and all that
hmm
stuff. And not gonna lie, I've always had a knack for it. So I've been pretty. That hasn't been terribly difficult. It's just the process of studying. But oh gosh, hardest class. What a question. I would have to probably say physics for now. Probably physics, but because there wasn't a lot of good teaching in that direction, really. So there was a
Yeah.
lot of self-taught stuff like computer science. I've I've had a good professor for it. So yeah, it was difficult, but the leadership was there because you've got leadership and teaching, and then you've got like the material. But if both are bad, then that puts you in a bad spot, and that's how you spell physics at UCF.
Yeah, I think we've all been there at one point or another, dealing with those professors that don't always attack with the best method for everyone.
Yeah.
And
What about you guys? Would have been some pretty tough ones on your end. I know there's so many classes you can take at UCF. So apart
Oh,
from like my course and track, what about you guys?
um,
honestly,
go ahead. You first, King.
honestly, this might sound a little odd, but power systems so far has been my hardest class.
Really?
Um, but I do think it was more of the structure of the course. There were some moments where if you didn't read a single sentence in the textbook, like that was it. That was what was going to get you minus 30 points on your next test.
Minus 30. Good God.
Well, when you
Um,
have a test with only 3 questions, I mean,
God, man. That's horrible. Oh
no, yeah,
God.
it's like that.
Oh, jeez. Oh, that sounds rough. Oh God.
it's not a fun semester. I
Oh
mean, it was a
man.
fun semester, but not because of that class.
Oh yeah. Yeah. How about you, Fernando?
I feel like it's such a sad reality how like a professor can make or break a class,
Oh yeah.
because
Honestly.
a big
Honestly.
majority just give you a textbook to just read it, and their lectures are just nothing, which is so sad.
Yeah.
But for me personally, EMF that was a hard class for me.
Oh wow, yeah.
hmm The first time I took it out, I had that professor just read the textbook and that's it. So of course I got like an 18 overall.
Oh God, dude. Yeah,
I
no,
know, man.
that's the. Oh, you gotta hate it when it happens.
It's
Yeah.
rough, man. It's rough.
Yeah, I
Oh, some
know.
of these things, like physics too, like EMF, they're so conceptual heavy. When you
hmm
read it from a book, I don't feel like it clicks as well. We don't have that guidance to really help you understand. But that's my personal opinion on
I totally agree with you. Like,
Yeah, me too.
I, I, I can really like kind of get a lot of information and kind of like process it and everything, and that's fine. But like, I would say I'm a visual learner. Like, if I'm either writing down the notes and I'm seeing what I'm writing, or if I'm seeing diagrams, I'd like to see how it's coming into life. When they're just like, yeah, textbook, I'm like, yeah, bad grade. Oh, like
that.
it sucks too, because some of these professors really do care about their fields and they're in it for research a lot of the times, but they just don't know how to teach. And some of them are super nice, but they just can't help it because that's just that. But yeah, yeah, no, it's a shame though that there's that weird paradigm between like professors teaching and like the fact that they're not all like I would say like a majority of professors are probably on that lower end, maybe like a 50-50 or something. I don't know. I mean, that's just me at UCF, but
No, I feel that it's always
yeah.
a little bit it's a little bit hard to grasp because you recognize the intelligence in the professor, you recognize the passion the professor has, but when they stand in front of a class, like the information just doesn't translate. And
Yeah, it's just not fluid necessarily. So yeah, I know. With the whole like not like going to lectures not being super helpful, it's such a shame too because like that's part of the college experience, not like reading out of a textbook. Like it's going to lectures. Like right now, I've got my last math class for my math minor, and like this professor's just like, and so we've got this or this, and blah. It's like the monotone the entire time, and I can't pay attention. Like I just have it open, and I'm like, I guess maybe hoping if I can just passively absorb it if I just like listen and not pay attention. I don't know, but uh,
with that monotone drone, like just listening is so
No,
hard.
it's so bad.
yeah, it's. Because like the material could actually be like kind of interesting, but you're just like, oh, you're making it so hard. Really trying to put my best foot forward.
See, from my perspective, if you can show me what the use of this is, I love it. I mean, mathematics is such a wonderful tool for so many different outlets in life. I mean, just basically being able to model a lot of existence just through mathematics and these things that some professors just throw it at you and they like learn it because you should. And but that is what makes a class interesting to me. What is your selling point when you get to a professor when you know you're going to really enjoy that class?
Yeah. Yeah, I know, like you said with whole mathematics and everything, yeah, like you can do so much with it, but sometimes it can just be so hard to put into practical stuff. But you have professors that can be like really creative about it too. Like, how there's like that thing with teaching where it's like you can, I guess, like kind of like talk about your stuff and then like potentially go off topic like mildly to like get their interest and then like bring it back to the material. I'll always remember this was like really funny and I thought it was just like so impractical, but I guess it actually happened. My what was it, my not differential equations, I also called it um partial differential equations. No, it wasn't partial differential equations. Was it calc 3? There are 3 calculuses, right? Calculi.
Yeah.
There are.
I always forget, bro. It's been so long since I've been in one of those. But so in Calc 3, they were doing like partial derivatives, stuff like that. And I remember there was this one thing called like the del operator or something. And more or less it was saying like something about like slopes and like degrees of something. And more or less it goes to 0 when you're like perpendicular from like a slope. So like if you're going down a mountain and you like turn sideways, you'll stop because you're going against the flow of it or something like that. So my professor's like, yeah, I was skiing and I forgot how to ski. And then I remembered the del operator and I turned sideways and I stopped. And I'm like, dude, impossible. That like I get you're a math teacher, but there's no way you thought of that when you were skiing down a mountain. Like, you know how fast you can go when you're skiing? Like,
Oh yeah.
Imagine being that smart that like, oh yeah, I'll just do this.
yeah, no, I was like, oh my gosh, I always remember that, bro. That was so funny. How about you guys?
No.
Do you guys have any experiences like that? You're just like this guy.
So I know me personally, I don't know how to swim. So my friends always try to teach me, right?
Yeah.
But they're all like engineers, like nerdy, really smart people. I love them. So every time they try teaching me, they're like, "Oh, use the force of your hand to push yourself forward." I'm like, "What are you talking about? Just hold my hand and teach me how to swim."
Yeah.
Just crazy. You, Brian?
You're like, bro, you're trying to describe the fluid dynamics, and you're like,
I
bro,
know.
all you gotta do is just scoop the water. All you gotta say is scoop the water. Yeah.
Yeah, sometimes the most intuitive thing is just the simplest to explain, and sometimes I know over time I've noticed this where some of my friends who are not in the engineering realm, I'll go to explain something and they're like, I have no clue what you're talking about, and it's like what? Sorry for swearing. I guess. Yeah,
I think I did it earlier.
But
Yeah.
like you're like oh no, like these words that I'm learning, I'm loving to describe the world around me just sometimes don't translate with people who haven't been exposed to the same thing, and it creates this barrier, when someone tries to explain like, oh, swim, use the fluid mechanics, the force. It's like, man,
Yeah.
I remember the fundamentals sometimes, I guess.
Yeah, I was talking with my brother. We were just like my mom's got a hot tub, so we were just like vibing one night because we're like, bro, we're stressed, hot tub time. But we were talking about that kind of thing there where you're like you learn so much in university and then you get to a point, especially with your colleagues who've been like parallel with you this entire time at Jordan, because he's also like right next to me in our computer engineering track right now. But I mean, no, Jordan, I will not leave you alone. No, so like we were doing that, and like for me to explain something to Jordan or any of the colleagues, like even Alex and stuff, they kind of can get what I'm going for because we've been exposed to that stuff. But I try to tell my brother like what binary is, and he's like, he
Yeah.
has no idea, and I'm just like, it's really interesting because you could like know all this stuff, and it just kind of doesn't always translate to other people to your thing of like, yeah, no, I know fluid dynamics, blah blah blah, and you're just like, bro, just trying to swim and not drown. Like, yeah, so it's an interesting thing there where you kind of like learn all this stuff, and then you're just like, wait, I forgot, no one else knows this. Rip. So
Isn't it crazy how like we're all in this world together, engineer, but once you step outside of it, it's like something completely different, like a whole different dimension.
yeah, dude, literally, like I don't know, it's so weird. It's like, because like you're so used to all the engineering stuff, you go out of it and you're just like, God, wait, like what is non-engineering? I forgot. I've been so busy. Like, yeah.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. I especially feel it with my family. They
Oh,
Yeah.
absolutely.
yeah.
Isn't that the worst? You feel like, hey, my family, like I should be able to tell them anything, but there's still that gap there of information. So you're telling them all this stuff, and they're just like, yeah, that's good. Good for you. And I'm like, oh, okay. Yeah.
I appreciate the support, but I know you either don't care or just don't get what I'm saying.
Yeah. Yeah, I know. It's definitely it's been a crazy ride so far. I'm like, so you guys are juniors too at UCF, right?
I was senior, but
Senior,
You're
yeah.
senior? Yeah. So senior, junior. Isn't it kind of like, if you like step back for a second, crazy to think about like how we're already this far? Like, I feel like
Yeah.
I was in like my dorm like so recently, but it was like basically 2 years ago because I had a dorm and then an apartment, and now I'm back here because of COVID. But wow, like we're already this far. That's insane. And honestly, props to us for like sticking with it and keeping our best foot forward. But
oh yeah. Oh
yeah,
yeah, and like Fernando mentioned earlier, I mean, when he said he got to Calc One, I think we've all had that moment of like, is this right for me? Like, what am I doing here? This is a difficult time. And looking back, it's like, thank goodness that I decided to keep pushing forward, because you see that trail behind you and you're like,
mm-hmm.
it to me at least gives me such a sense of motivation and energy that makes me more confident in my life in general, makes me more confident in wanting to achieve things. And then I think it just promotes better health as a general rule, pushing yourself and learning and growing and reaching
Yeah.
that end goal.
Yeah, no,
Absolutely.
yeah. When you look back and you're like, I've done all these classes, and it's like, it's crazy. Like, that was in my apartment, right? And one of my bad. One of my friends had physics, and he was like low key trying to speed run the physics thing, and he was like, so he was like a semester of difference because he's computer science, so he didn't have to take physics just yet. It wasn't so important. But being computer engineering, you kind of need to like know physics ahead of time, or at least that was the track I was on. So he was doing this physics exam. He's like, Luke, come help me out. And I'm like, okay, what? So I was doing it. And I got the right answers for for several of them to help him out with some physics stuff. And I was like, it's been like 2 semesters. I can't believe I just did physics. Like, isn't it crazy? You look back and you're like, wow, I've actually like learned a lot of stuff past the stress of the class itself. It's pretty wild, not gonna lie.
Oh yeah. I think it's those little things. I think when you get a better understanding of physics and mathematics, I feel like certain things just will tend to make sense, because it really is, just a representation of our reality. I mean, physics is just describing the things that we see, and
Yeah.
mathematics helps that out as well. I remember when my mom asked me, she was like, "Why do you point the fan away from your bedroom?" I'm like, "I'm trying to get the hot air out. It moves faster. There's more energy behind it. I'm trying to push it out. I don't want to pull the cold air in. Hot heat is what moves." And I was like,
Yeah.
I knew you're gonna pull some engineering BS on me.
Yeah. Yeah. Makes sense though. I mean, uh, something being cool is only the definition of not having heat. So you just
We're so nerdy.
gotta get rid of that
Just
heat, bro.
gotta.
Gotta get rid of that heat. Yeah. Huge brain Brian over here. Big brain.
No, but
Yeah.
it's crazy how everything's like second nature to us now. In our
Yeah,
class we use like
honestly.
differentials, calculus, physics. But looking back at it, like, that was so hard at the time.
Yeah. Yeah,
Oh,
it's
yeah.
a lot easier to say after the fact.
Oh yeah.
So-
And my sorry.
No, go ahead. Yeah, no, go ahead.
No, just a little anecdote. I was going to say my physics 2 class. I remember the first test we had. The class average was a 45. And, like, those are the moments where you're like, okay, all right. Like,
Rip to the rate my professors who are like 1.8. That is not okay.
put an F
Yeah.
in the chat.
F, big F. But yeah, no, so like, God, so one of the things I've noticed recently is that like, when I've been working on stuff is just like kind of becoming one like uniform. It's like converging, right? It's coming to like one spot where it's just like, wow, like my classes are talking about the same thing. Like somehow I'm in signal analysis and partial differential equations, and they're both talking about Fourier series. And it's kind of crazy because it's like, cool. I mean, like they're talking about it in two different places, but like it's because it all kind of comes together towards like the higher end stuff. You kind of like get past all the diverse stuff and it becomes this big bubble, and you get up to the top and you're like back in one spot. Have you guys noticed that before? Where it's just like, oh my God, I'm learning this in another class too, like right now.
I know.
Oh,
I think it was differentials. We learned Laplace, right? And I hated it.
Yeah.
I'm like, I did this already. I'm never gonna see this again. For electricals, that's all we do. Laplace.
Circuits, yeah, circuits for
Phosphors,
Laplace.
all yes.
Yeah, no, I remember, dude. Like, so you guys know how you can for like circuits you can do like Laplace and you can do like God, what is it? Phasors. Dude,
No.
I don't know if you guys had, but she is obsessed with phasors. And then we like got into like circuits too. I had Chung Young Chan because I yeah, bleep that out. I prayed I would get into that. I was like, okay, I got to get into this class because Chan is supposed to be like super good. And like, he told us about phasors and he said, phasors are dumb. Use Laplace. And I was, oh my gosh, man. Like, I don't know why some professors want to make it hard. They're like, oh, you should know like the technical stuff. I'm like, okay, but like, what do you actually use in industry and everything? Like, what's the real deal here?
No,
Although,
it's a good thing you say that. Oh, go ahead.
Oh no, I was gonna say like it's funny because this is where I wish people again would show this as tools, and phasors can be really useful, but the fundamentals of phasors are what's useful. It's not like, in my opinion, from my experience, understanding complex, the imaginary, the real imaginary plane, things like that, utilizing it through Euler's equation, utilizing it through Laplace, all this kind of stuff, having a better visualization is awesome. But when we're told phasors are how we should solve everything, that's where I'm like, all right, can you explain a bit what you mean by that? Because I don't quite agree with that statement.
Yeah, no, like definitely. It's funny too, because Chung Young Chan was literally like, phasors are actually just like a specific case of Laplace transforms. And I was just like, are you serious? Are you serious? It's all a joke? Yeah. Anyway, so since we're in a podcast, maybe technical stuff aside for the viewers who don't know what Laplace transforms or phasors are, yeah, maybe not quite that, yeah, but yeah. So
You'll get there.
yeah, we'll get there for sure.
Yeah.
So did you guys have any other questions? Not like to wrap up, because I'm honestly this is kind of fun, just talking and chilling. But what else did you guys have, like, I guess, planned? Any other like topics planned?
Wait, just like a quick break, I guess.
Yeah, so right now I'm doing the making a circuit board that plugs into actually this MSP 430 right here. So
Where did you get that from?
I have it on my desk because I've been working on it, and I was doing something with Eagle, so I needed to see the little like numbers on it. So I was just, I don't know where I got it, but yeah.
Big shout out to TI.
Yeah, no. So
Thanks for the sponsor.
Yeah, yeah, dude, I hope so. I'm gonna see how much money we can squeeze out of them. But yeah. So we are yeah. So I'm making like this like circuit board that plugs on top of them. It's got like buttons and lights and other stuff and shift registers and pretty good stuff that'll be really good to like teach everybody about stuff here. Um, yeah, so I'm excited. I'm really excited because that's like part of that stuff we were talking about earlier, where it's like stuff is going to kind of like come together. I'm going to kind of like pick some stuff from digital systems, some stuff from like circuits, and some stuff like that. So it'll kind of just be like, so you guys took these classes, or you might be. This is like what you can do. So yeah,
Oh yeah.
yeah. So yeah, I mean, bringing that out of the hat here of the TI workshop. We're currently in the process of trying to get stuff, but yeah, no, it's going it's going very well so far. Circuit's almost finished being designed and everything. So yeah.
Well, that's awesome. And then with your experience in Eagle and your passion that you have for computer engineering, it seems like you definitely are going to be having.
It's no worries. No, keep going. Keep the momentum, bro.
All right.
Yeah.
Yeah, no. It
just-
seems like you're gonna have a really great future in this field and the things you're pursuing. So.
Oh, bro, you're touching my heart saying.
Yeah, absolutely. You sound really passionate, and you really want to pursue this. Honestly,
I
it shows.
appreciate. I appreciate that. I appreciate that you guys say that. Makes me feel like my efforts are not in vain. Yeah.
Oh, awesome! I'm excited to see where you go. And
Yeah, I'm excited to stay with IEEE and kind of take you guys with me.
very awesome.
Yeah.
I think this is going to wrap up our time for today.
Yeah, no, I think we've got a lot of good stuff in. It's very good.
But,
I'm excited to watch this when it's edited.
So before we go, is there anything you want to tell the audience where we can find you? Anything about you?
So we are redesigning the IEEE website, and I should be on there very shortly when we get that finished up and designing. I'm not sure if I'm going to be on the members page or not, but I'll be there. You can always contact me after contacting the IEEE president as well. Yeah, no, I mean, if you guys need to ask me anything, then just let me know. But actually, yeah, no, this is what you can do. So I'm pretty sure at the end of the AutoCAD videos on IEEE's playlist there, I think I have something linked in there as my one of my emails or something, a contact me type thing for questions for that stuff. But you can email me either way about it if you need to. So yeah, I'm just
Very
available,
cool.
just chilling. So
And
I'm
can we
here.
put that all in the description below?
Yeah, if you want to put that in the description below, just don't spam me. Yeah.
That's perfect. All right.
Yeah.
Well, thank you so much, Lucas, for your time. And
Yeah,
It was really fun
absolutely.
talking to you.
Yeah,